Hi, Carrie. This is Dr. Jester. I wanted to go over your Worldview Studies outline paper for just a moment. This is your revision on that, and I needed to discuss some details with you. So, this paper is intended to be an outline, single sentence covering these points right here. You have three major points with a couple of subpoints under each one of those, and then, of course, you would have subpoints under those secondary level points. So in topic 8, you're going to have a final submission paper. This is the outline for that paper. That's where you're going to be submitting a worldview studies essay of 1,250 to 1,500 words. So this outline that you're submitting now should be no more than about 500 to 750 words. That would include a thesis statement and a conclusion, and use your bibliography. So if we go to this particular paper, first of all, I've got 2,000 words, so this ends up being quite large with, well, I've got just a lot of information here I'm not quite following. So I'm going to get to that in just a moment. So here's what the outline should be. It should be single sentences. You've got multiple sentences in some cases. So it's about 3 times too large. That's about as bad as being about 3 times too short. So it's way more information than needs to be included. It's very difficult to deal with papers that are within the perimeters of what the assignment is. You have a great thesis, that's good. Here in these 2 points, you basically restated the question. You just wrote the question down. So I changed that to make statements out of those, not the assignment questions, but how you're going to answer them, so that worldview involves foundational aspects to the way people experience the world. That's what the subject is going to be. In this one right here, the fundamental concepts found in all worldviews are addressed from a Christian worldview perspective in terms of ultimate reality, origins, purpose, brokenness of humanity, and restoration. I went ahead and scratched out, used the Bible to present the Christian perspective. We know that's what you're going to do. Here, ultimate reality, you're answering that from the Christian worldview perspective. What we're saying here is, how does Christianity provide the statement of ultimacy? What does that mean? How do other people, what is their ultimate reality? So for some people, ultimate reality is just the here and now. For some people, it's that humans are the ultimate reality. Christianity says God is the ultimate reality. So you want to answer that from the Christian perspective, that God is ultimate, that God is what reality is all about. Origins, we're not talking about Christian origins, we're talking about human origins. So where did humans come from? How does Christianity answer the question of origins? Again, we didn't evolve from monkeys. Christianity says we were created by God. We bear his image. We came into this world with a purpose. And here you've got a good statement on that. The inclusion of all of this other material is, you just added a lot of that. Keep in mind that your final essay, if you tried to write an essay and respond to all of this based upon the outline, you'd be looking at 5,000 pages, which is way, way more than we can deal with. So you've got way too much material here. So there are no other revisions, unfortunately. So on each paper, you're only allowed 1 revision, but we have some formatting issues we need to deal with. So you've got a footnote here, a footnote here, and a footnote here. Those do not go in the body of the text. You provide the number. For example, I want to write a footnote right here. I go up to references. I go to insert footnote right here. That places a footnote down at the bottom of the page. Then I list my footnote, etc., etc. However, with internet sources, you cannot just provide the URL the universal resource locator. You've got to provide publication date, the date you accessed it. So go to Turabian, follow the directions there. That's the reason that I placed that in week 1 in topic 1's DQ. I placed that there so people would use that. If you're going to write academic papers, you've got to follow the correct style. So here the same thing would be there. That would be footnote number 2, footnote number 3 with complete bibliographic information. All of that, you're generally answering the questions that need to be answered, but here you've got the bibliography and you've got annotations there. That does not go in this paper. That would go in a different paper, but it does not belong here. So all of that's redundant. Again, you've got to follow the instructions carefully. You've got to use Turabian. Make sure you don't provide too much information, but enough information, okay? Anytime you have a question about something, then please feel free to ask that at any time. I'm providing you this feedback. Hopefully this will be a learning experience, and by all means, please do use Turabian. One of the additional elements here, remember, in academic writing of any type, all of this should be double-spaced, okay? All of that is not to be single-spaced. When you get down to your bibliography, however, all of the entries should be single-spaced with a blank space in between each one. This needs to disappear. And there would be a space there, not double space like that is. I have to reformat that as well. Single space between entries, and all the entries single spaced in the bibliography. Okay, hope that helps you a little bit. Alrighty.